So years and years ago, before I even started YouTube, like a very long time ago, I was playing Pathfinder, the first edition, with some friends. So they were like friends of a work friend that I like tangentially knew, because back in those times, I was just desperate for any TTRPGs at any time. If the group chat decides to stir and somebody really wants to play, then we try to get together and do it. We have like varying age groups with this group of people, so everybody has different types of jobs. It's very strange. And I should say I'm like the least experienced in Pathfinder here. I'm just kind of like, yeah, sure, I'll play anything. So we had been playing a game that had been like 3 or 4 games in, and one of our players was like, I really want to run a game. And we were like, yeah, okay, all right, sure, why not? You always get that one friend in the group that suddenly like gets the urge to run a game. And I think that that's great. I think people should feel motivated to run games. But we were a little concerned because this guy did not know the rules super good. He was kind of a slower player, kind of took a back seat most of the time. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It was just surprising to then hear that he wanted to run a game. We were like, okay, sure. And so we find a time to get together and play. It's like a random weekday or something. I barely remember. This was so long ago, but I will never forget how I felt while I was playing this game, which was pure boredom. I've never been more bored in my life. Now, on the off chance that the people who are a part of this story somehow sleuth and figure out that this is about you, no, it's not. It's a completely different story. This is about somebody else. But anyways, we sit down to play and he's super excited and we're like, yeah, let's do it. And I make a character. I don't remember what I played. He starts and it's like this. It's effectively like, okay, so you guys are in a forest and what you're doing here is, basically what's happening, that is the pace of the entire game. I don't really remember what the initial premise of the adventure was. I'm pretty sure we were doing something like going to go get some crystals from a cave. I know that there were crystals in a cave and we had to go through a forest at some point. So we set off on this journey to go to this cave, and everything that our GM describes takes a very long time. Fine, I can be patient. That's okay. Some people might be nervous to run their first game. That's okay. You might want to take it a little slow. That's all right. I want you to cook. I want to play your game. I'm ready for it. The thing is that we spent most of this game looking up rules. Like we go through the forest and we get to like a cliff and the cave is up on a cliff and we're like, what if we use rope? And our GM's like, okay, rope. Where's rope? I'm not kidding. I vividly remember sitting at the table being like, you can just make it up. It's okay if you don't want to look up exactly what all the rope rules are. That's fine. And I don't know, sitting at the table just kind of waiting for this made me feel so uncomfortable. And like most people, I enjoy being comfortable. I'm so sorry for this. Especially in my bed at night, because this video is sponsored by Helix. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I've struggled for a long time with going to sleep. I will move all through the night, switching positions constantly, so finding a comfortable bed has always been very difficult. I had heard a lot about how good Helix was. I wanted to try it out. I was a little apprehensive because I was just afraid I was going to have another mattress that was going to hurt my shoulders. So Spencer and I took the sleep quiz and we got matched with the Helix Plus Luxe. And on the sleep quiz, it was nice because I got to put in that I sweat a lot during sleep and I move throughout the entire night. And I've always struggled with mattresses either being way too soft or way too firm. Our current mattress at the time was pretty good, but I was starting to sink into it, so I definitely wanted something that was a little sturdier. But this mattress came shipped to our house in a box, and it blew itself up out of the box, which was really nice. And Spencer and I laid on it, and it was glorious. It's the best mattress I have ever owned. It's soft, but it's firm at the same time. If I move around, it doesn't feel like I shake the entire bed. It perfectly cradles me even while I'm like sleeping sideways, because I primarily sleep sideways. But the texture on the front of the mattress is so soft, like putting any part of my body on this just feels amazing. I was also just surprised at how strong the mattress is too. It manages to be perfectly comfortable and resilient at the same time. Also, we got the Glaciotex cooling cover, and that has been so awesome. It's a layer on the top of the mattress that cools it down. When I get into bed and it's hot and I get in there, I'm cool all night and it's the best thing ever. I would genuinely wake up a lot with neck and shoulder pain. I don't have much of a neck. And so like when I was trying to turn it, it was like a little bit sore. And ever since we got our Helix mattress, that has just completely disappeared. I wake up so comfortable. I'm not sore. It's so much easier for me to go to sleep now. This mattress is an insane upgrade from our previous one, and it's really surprised me in how much it's improved my quality of life. And right now, there is an exclusive 4th of July partner offer where you can get 27% off the entire site. That is a little more than a quarter. There's a link in the description and in the comments. Thanks to Helix for sponsoring this video. Anyways, so we are playing this game and we're walking through a forest and we have a rope and we're trying to go up this cliffside and our GM is trying to look up how a rope works. It takes a very long time, but the GM eventually gets there. It takes, I think, like 40 minutes for us to figure out how to climb up a rope. And we do it, and we get to the cave. The cave is dark. It takes a second for the GM to figure out the cave is dark. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm playing a human. I'm gonna take out a torch. So I take out a torch, and the GM's like, oh, okay, you take it out. And I'm like, yeah, can I see now? And the GM's like, well, you didn't light it. I was like, okay, can I light it? Do you have something to light it with? I think I have like flint and steel. Can I use that to light it? And the GM's like, okay, flint and steel. Okay. Flint and steel. Oh yeah, it says right here you can use that to light small objects. Okay, so you can use that to light your torch. Okay, you light your torch. I'm like, cool. Can I see? Okay, a torch. Let me find. It was agonizing. It's fine to take a second to look those things up, but I remember this guy being so passionate about running a game. I was like, yeah, let's do it. He wants to run something. And then it was a pre-written. I couldn't tell if he had ever read it before because he was like taking forever to get to each point. We had to wait. Then he would go, oh, right, the next page. And then it was like he would read and then tell us what's going on. I was like, what's going on? Is this a pre-written? And yeah, sometimes it takes a second to look things up. That's fine. But also at the same time, bro, I would have been so cool if you would just make it up. I don't care about the rules that much. Accomplishing anything took forever. I believe we did one combat and it took like 2 hours. A 4th player joined in halfway through, which was Colton. I'm pretty sure Colton was there. The rest of us were like, hey man, how's it going? He sat down, he's like, let's do it. I remember him trying to be like, well, that's okay. I can just do this. Well, that's okay. Because Colton's a very like active player. He wants to do the thing and he's like, oh, hear me out, GM. This is what I want to do. And I remember him being like, okay, that's fine. You don't have to look that up. And he was like, no, it's all right. I'll find it. And we were like, oh my goodness. So this wasn't particularly bad. This happens to be one of the worst games I've ever played in because by comparison, I've played in a lot of really cool, awesome games. It was just a slog. And having ADHD, it's the worst pain imaginable. And I wasn't medicated back then. So I was sitting there like, I am going to rip my character sheet apart. This sucks. Anytime we would try to like offer like, it's okay, you can do this instead. Like, what if we just rolled athletics to do that? He would be like, no, we have to follow the rule. We have to look up the rule and find out exactly how it works. And none of us had the courage to be like, no, that's okay. You don't have to do that. And that was the other thing is like, these weren't my friends. These were like some acquaintances. So it was just really awkward and really strange. And it was the longest, sloggiest game I ever played to climb up a cliff, light a torch and fight, I think kobolds? I don't know. And it was like, that was 4.5 hours. Wow. I just wish our GM would have like gone with his gut and run what he wanted to run. If he was excited to run the game, he should have just kind of like made up the rules like as he went and then figured it out. And then we could be like, oh, actually the rule works like this. But I think he was so afraid of us correcting him that he didn't want to accidentally make the game terrible or make himself look bad for like 3 people. However, I think I would rather play that slog game again than play the actual worst game that I have ever played in. This campaign was very weird. This is a D&D campaign kind of around the same time, maybe like a year before. So we were pretty new to D&D. I had maybe run like 1.5 games, but we were playing a lot because we had a lot of free time. Every single one of us had a new campaign that we wanted to play and try out, and we would do like 2, 3, 4 games and then be done. So this is a campaign that I was invited to, but I didn't show up for the first game because I ended up having work. But I heard from my friends that what ended up happening is that all of our characters died in the first session and witnessed the gods, but actually the gods were a singular god, and God gave us a holy mission to go like defeat a bad guy or something. Right off the bat, this is my least favorite plot hook in media ever, not even just games. Also, movies, TV shows, whatever. If your character's motivation is God told you, they have no reason to disobey. There is no nuance in them questioning what they should be doing. If they witness the power of God and then are compelled to go on the adventure because of that, why should they ever like falter from that? The only exception to this point is Prince of Egypt. That one does it really good. But I am being a little hyperbolic. Maybe it's more just my disdain for them in TTRPGs that it makes me go, if I see it in anything, I really hate it. Because I hate when my character is told by the most powerful creatures in the entire universe to go do a thing. And it's like, well, okay, I can't really question this, can I? I think it's cool to, have a cleric and have your god kind of guide you. That's fun. You can have a questioning of faith, but when the GM very deliberately is like, hi, this is the quest giver, and they're telling you to go over there, it's like, well then, okay, I don't think there's supposed to be a lot of nuance here. I think you just really want me to go do this quest. So anyways, we're playing this campaign. I'm already just kind of like, all right, I don't really have a choice in what I'm doing, but whatever. Games later, we end up having to go to like a mountain, and the campaign has been fine since then. We've mostly just been like fighting monsters. That's cool. I like combat. But we get to this mountain, and there's supposed to be someone of a big importance here that we're supposed to find. And there's like 2-3 games of lead up. And then we can like hear the bards who are playing atop the mountain there, and they play like electric guitar or something, which is kind of cool. But in the moment, it was a little cringe because our GM was like, and then you hear this, click, and it's like AC/DC or something. And I was like, okay. Great idea, terrible execution. We get there and we talk to them and they're like, oh, there's this ancient dungeon down here and the person you're looking for is down there. And we're like, okay, guess we got to go in there. And they're like, it's really dangerous though. It's full of traps. We're like, no worries. We got this because God told us and we have nothing better to do. And this is the adventure, and GM, you're telling us to go here. But anyways, we get there, we're like going through hallways, and from what I remember, it's like abandoned and empty. There's nothing in here. We're finding like skeletons and things like that. And then my character goes through a door, opens the door, and it's a long throne room. And at the end of the throne room is a guy. And the guy casts a spell, and my character is instantly killed. No save, nothing. I am reduced to ashes. There was no forewarning. I mean, maybe the environmental storytelling skeletons should have hinted me off, but I didn't get to roll a check. Nothing happened. I walked through the door, I exploded from a 9th level fireball, and was killed. Nobody else was. Just me. And so everybody else starts fighting this guy. Oh, the other part too is that NPC that was there was like a DMPC. Like that character that killed me was the RDM's player character in my previous game. So he was kind of trying to be like, ooh, look, whoa. And then that guy's like, no, wait. I made a mistake. Sorry, I'm kind of crazy. I don't know. I was like, sorry, you need to help me. I want to help you, but I've been down here for so long that I'm going crazy. I think that's what happened. I don't remember, because during this entire combat encounter that's going on, I get up because I'm thinking like maybe I'm going to get revived. Maybe in like the next scene, like the character's going to revive me as like a show of trust, or like, I don't know, maybe I'm going to get brought back. I am not. I get up and start doing other things. We're at like my friend's house, so I'm looking through board games, reading through books. I go on my phone for a little bit. I have no importance at the table. I have nothing to do. I remember just like laughing really hard when I died, being like, okay, cool. All right. 3 hours of this game happens. And like 2 hours in, I think my GM starts to finally like feel bad and is like, Jacob, do you want to like play one of the bad guys? And I'm like, no. I'm good, man. I'm good. I think being petty is making me feel a lot better, and making you feel bad is really helping my soul right now. Once you're like an hour in, you're like, I'm now committed to this. And then like the game ended, and I think I did get brought back to life. Like after the combat at the end of the game, the character was like, oh, and then Jacob's character gets brought back to life. But it felt like DM cop out. Like the DM felt bad that happened, and it's just like, oh, now you're alive. And I was like, cool. And then I never played again after that because that was bad. That was not fun. So the worst part about that was not getting killed instantly. I think if like I got revived, I would have been fine. The worst part was waiting for 3 hours to play the game. And I didn't get to play the game. I could have left and nothing would have changed. I would have had 3 more hours in my life. This kind of harkens back to the rule that grinds my gears, where I talk about getting stunned. I think me personally, I don't know if I'm necessarily right about this. I just have a lot of disdain for players not getting to act, or not getting to do anything, or like being dead for a long time, or like the DM and the player playing one-on-one for a while, or like the DM like just taking things very, very slowly. So like my agency just is reduced to lighting a torch. And that's just because I'm not patient and I love to play the game. And am I wrong for this? Maybe. Maybe you don't agree with me. Maybe you love games like this. And I think that that's great. But for me personally, those are kind of like the worst games I ever played in. And what I hope you can take away from these stories is that you should just follow your heart, follow your gut, and run the game that you want to run, regardless of the rules. Because I would have 10 times more fun playing a sloppy, messed up, whatever game of rules not being correct over climbing a rope and lighting a torch and fighting 3 kobolds. And don't blow up your players because you think your DMPC is cool and then somebody can't play for 3 hours. That sucks. Anyways, let me know if you guys like this video, and I would love to make more. I have so many stories. Okay, bye.